Chiawana High School in Pasco, Washington. It is the state 4A regional basketball playoffs here on SWX, the Richland Bombers and the Moses Lake Chiefs. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Shane Ettinger and Matt Reichman here with you tonight. And Matt, we've got a great matchup here tonight. The Bombers, 22-0, ranked number 2 in the state. Moses Lake coming in at 13-9, but they have been playing really well lately. Let's take a look at the keys to the games.
Yeah, well, we will start with the home team as we always do. The Richland Bombers looking to stick to the plan, and why not if you're undefeated? If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Also, they want to limit turnovers and take advantage of opportunities. For the Chiefs, obviously going to want to get back on D for that potent Richland offense, contest all those three-pointers that Richland likes to shoot, and try and create turnovers and make some opportunities of their own.
As we take a look at the starting lineups, we see for Richland, Nathan Stroyford, the senior, the MCC Player of the Year.
Yeah, Nathan Stroyford, obviously one of the leaders, but as we've talked about many times, Richland loves to distribute the basketball to everybody. They got 5 guys in that starting lineup that can score and score easily.
For Moses Lake, they are led, or they've been led lately by their sophomore, Cesar Sandoval, a first-team All-Big Nine player.
Yeah, I mean, if they're in any way going to try and limit Nathan Stroyford and that great Richland offense, Sandoval is going to have a great game. He went for 27 against Sunnyside, just a sophomore, but a great talent for the Moses Lake Chiefs.
Well, that's going to be a good one here tonight. The crowd is starting to file in. By the time we get to tip-off, it is going to be packed. The winner punches their ticket to Tacoma. The loser goes home. It's the State 4A Regional Playoffs. We've got the tip-off coming up next right here on SWX.
Amen.
This broadcast of local high school basketball is brought to you by the RV giant Rustine Family RV, with over 200 RVs and used trucks on their lot. For your next RV, see the RV giant Rustine Family RV, the only name you need to know in the Pasco Autoplex.
And we are getting ready to tip things off here at Chinawana High School. And Matt, like we said, it's a packed house in here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just looking around, you see that Richland, obviously with the advantage only being a few miles away, they've staked out about, I'd guess, 80% of the gym, it looks like. And some speckled red in between there, but definitely an electric atmosphere so far.
Yeah, Moses Lake traveled pretty well. There's quite a large contingent of Chiefs fans down here tonight, so this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, you can be sure that if it's a close game that you'll be hearing from the Chief faithful.
Absolutely. So we're ready to tip things off here. Nathan Stroifert and Tyson Karstetter. And Richland grabs the opening tip. Stephen Bayo with it. And the quick basket there for the Bombers.
Great pass by Drew McCullough down low to Jacob DeVries. First 2 points for him in this game.
That's one thing about this Richland offense. They don't take long to produce. Cesar Sandoval inside. A quick bucket for the Chiefs. We're tied up at 2.
Yep, he's a big part of the offense. You saw right there why.
There you saw a quick shot there from Radliff. Rebound there for the Chiefs. Thomas will bring it back the other way. Moses Lake setting up their offense. Thomas. In and out, no good. Ratliff with the rebound. Bayo into the corner to DeVries. That's Bayo. His three-pointer up and good.
That's exactly what basically we thought we were going to be seeing from both teams, an up-tempo style, and Richland loves to shoot that three-point, and one of the things the Chiefs wanted to limit, although they didn't on that one.
Stephen Bayo, one of the better three-point shooters on the Bomber roster. Sandoval with it in the paint. Now he goes cross-court. Down low to Karstetter. Lefty shot won't go. Here come the Bombers the other way. McCullough back out. DeVries. His three in and out. Chiefs with the rebound.
Yeah, that's Nick Sutherland there. One of the things the Chiefs emphasized was trying to not let the Bombers get second chances and pulling the rebounds down on defense.
So far they've been able to execute that. Inside to Karstetter, off of his hands. It goes out of bounds. Richland will get the basketball.
Yeah, definitely exactly, what both coaches kind of wanted to do. I guess Moses Lake also is going to want to try and play a little bit more half-court defense than they have so far. But here's that soft press we were talking about.
Yeah, Coach Homan saying it's not a in-your-face kind of pressure, but enough to maybe disrupt your rhythm. That's Stroifert driving inside. Foul there on Sandoval. And Nathan Stroifert will head to the free throw line.
I have to imagine this is not the sort of defensive matchup that Nathan Stroifert has seen the entire year with how big Sandoval is. And right there you see he was able to actually displace Stroifert and kind of make him uncomfortable with that shot, and he missed.
Yeah, it really wasn't until their win last week over Ferris that they finally had played a type of team that had some inside presence like Nathan Stroifert. Stroifert misses the first free throw. Second one in and out as well.
Good job of boxing out that time by Moses Lake. There were 3 or 4 gray jerseys there waiting for the rebound.
So Thomas will set up the offense for Moses Lake. Inside, Karstetter. His shot up and good. 2 points for Tyson Karstetter.
Karstetter, a lefty, and you saw right there.
Yeah, second team All-League Big 9, Tyson Karstetter. Ratliff, his three-pointer in and out. Stroifert boxed out underneath. Moses Lake comes up with the rebound.
A lot of picks. Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, Matt, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, one of the things in their half-court offense, I guess, here comes Richland with the ball now.
A steal there by Stroifert. Now he'll go baseline. Fight his way inside, and another foul there on Cesar Sandoval, and that is something that I'm sure John Homan does not want to see. 3 minutes into this ball game, and his big guy already has 2 fouls.
Yeah, Josh Herr is going to come in and replace him, and I would have to imagine that's one of the things Nathan Stroifert was going to try and do is get Sandoval in foul trouble, and he's done that very early on.
Stroifert battling inside. Shot won't go. Karstetter gets the rebound for Moses Lake.
Good physical play by the Chiefs.
Cesar Sandoval, just a sophomore for Moses Lake, so you had to possibly expect that, a sophomore mistake there, getting 2 quick fouls. Recovered there, but the shot no good for Mitch Holman. foul on Moses Lake on the loose ball.
Yeah. And if if I'm Moses Lake's coach John, these fouls are they're cheap ones, and I don't really understand what the point of them is.
Ratliff running the offense for Richland. Drops it off to Bayo now. Some strong pressure defense from the Chiefs here. Long three from Bayo off the back rim, no good. But McCullough grabs the rebound over to DeVries. His three-pointer off the mark. Stroiford battles for it. Moses Lake comes up with it. Holman drops it off to Thomas. Now Holman will bring it across midcourt. Driving inside. Floater in and out, no good. The other way, here comes Richland. Bayo driving inside. Tries to get some contact, no foul called. The shot no good. Now Bayo tries for the steal. And a traveling violation called on Moses Lake.
John Holman is upset with that. You can see he wanted a foul call there, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact there between Thomas and Stephen Bayo. And the referee called the traveling violation instead. Bayo now trying to get it in bounds.
Wow.
And that was a foul inside.
They called it intentional.
Moses Lake, an intentional foul, I believe. So Jacob DeVries is going to shoot 2 free throws here. First one is up and good for Jacob DeVries. So an intentional foul there called on Moses Lake.
I didn't see what happened.
Mitch Holman heads to the bench.
Seems like an awfully strange situation to get an intentional foul.
Yeah, it was. Richland had the ball out of bounds, looking for an inbounds play, and the intentional foul was called. So now Richland will have the basketball underneath.
Looks like they got Thomas for it. He was having a conversation with one of the officials there.
Bayo trying to get it in. He does to McCullough. It's almost stolen away. Bayo comes up with a loose ball. Inside to Stroiford. His first 2 points of the ball game.
It's a really enjoyable, type of basketball to watch. Both teams really kind of stingy on defense and trying to cause turnovers and just chipping at each other. It's fun to watch.
Stolen away there by Richland. Here comes McCullough the other way. Stolen right back by Thomas. Thomas dishing to Carstetter, up and good.
Great pass. Moses Lake is not intimidated by this Richland team. I mean, they are obviously very good. It's still undefeated, but the Chiefs playing tough.
Yeah, Moses Lake came to play tonight, that's for sure. A steal there and stolen back. Peyton Radliff with the lay-in. So a great defensive effort there by Moses Lake, and Richland negates it right there with the steal by Ratliff.
Yeah, I think just a little mental lapse there for Isaiah Thomas. Got to be careful with how fast these Bombers are.
That's Derek Martinez now into the game for Moses Lake. Thomas. Shot clock down to 10. Inside to Carstetter. His shot in and out, no good. DeVries will bring it back the other way. Driving inside, and a foul called underneath. And we're going to take a timeout with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left here in the first quarter. It's Richland with an 11-6 lead over Moses Lake. It's the State 4A Regional Playoffs on SWX.
hard work. It's about dedicating yourself to working hard and doing your best. At Richland, they're proud of our young people, and they're proud of me.
Welcome back to Tijuana High School. State 4A regional playoffs. Right now, Richland with an 11-6 lead with a little over a little less than 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've what we anticipated is what we're seeing right now. And Richland just the upper hand with, shooting the ball a little bit better, getting better offensive opportunities, but both teams playing a really chippy style of defense and both going up tempo so far in the game as well.
Yeah, Moses Lake is definitely here to play tonight. They've been very aggressive on the defensive end. Great hustle. Haven't been able to convert on offense as much, but defensively they're playing very solid defense here so far.
Should mention they are without Cesar Sandoval, one of their leading scorers, who got 2 quick fouls early on in the first quarter.
Little token pressure here from the Bombers as Isaiah Thomas brings it across the midcourt stripe for Moses Lake. Harstetter over to Martinez now. Thomas will drive. Dish to Martinez. His three-pointer off the mark. Richland with the rebound. Cross court to Bayo. Almost loses his footing. Hangs on to it though. Now Stroyford will drive inside. Layup won't go.
I think he was trying to decide whether he wanted to dunk or not, and then couldn't even convert the lay-in.
I think he kind of got caught between both. Three-pointer there, though, from Derek Martinez. Gets Moses Lake back within 4. Ratliff shot, in and out, no good. Harstetter comes up with the rebound for Moses Lake.
I like what Moses is doing on the defensive side. I mean, they have 3 or 4 jerseys around every rebound. That's actually going to be a big thing, not letting Richland get second chance opportunities.
Sutherland with it. Now Martinez. Shot clock at 15. Harstetter. Now Thomas has it. Shot clock at 6. Thomas will drive. Stop at the free throw line. Herge. Shot no good. DeVries with it at the other end for Richland. Now Bayo. Trying to find somebody to get rid of it. Back up to Bayo and over to Ratliff. He'll shoot a three-pointer from the corner. In and out, no good.
Yeah, Peyton Ratliff might want to think about crashing the boards more. You can't assume that's going to go in. That long rebound just went right to Derek Martinez.
Peyton Ratliff, one of those streaky shooters for Richland. So far, he's been a bit cold, but when he gets hot and starts to feel that stroke, he is a great shooter. Stolen there by DeVries. Almost stolen back. Richland, though, hangs on to it. Ratliff makes that 18-footer.
I think that'll help get his confidence up, as you said. Yes, he's definitely a... Oh!
Stolen by McCullough. Bit of an odd shot there, but I think he knew that the clock was winding down and just had to get rid of it before the buzzer. Shot was no good, but that is the end of the first quarter. After 1 period of play, it's Richland 15, Moses Lake 9. You're watching the State 4A Regional Basketball Playoffs on SWX.
connect with the WIAA on social media.
All right,
This portion of the game is brought to you by irrigation specialists, the Lindsay Company in Pasco, Grandview, Othello, and Hermiston, providing equipment and systems from small residential to large farms. Irrigation Specialists, a proud sponsor of local high school basketball on SWX.
ready to start the second quarter. The Bombers with a 6-point lead. But Matt, looking at the score, just 15 points for Richland in the first half. That's well below their averages. Cesar Sandoval back into the game for Moses Lake to get the quick bucket.
I was going to say, I think the Chiefs would consider 15-9 a victory after the first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Stroyford gets past Sandoval and throws down the dunk.
And again, the two fouls on Sandoval, possibly the reason he just sort of got out of the way and let Stroyford go to the bucket there. So we'll see if that affects the way he plays the rest of the game on defense.
Sandoval with it now down on the block. Nice pass.
Better shot.
Good for Josh Hers. Difficult shot. Stroyford inside now. Bayo. Scoop shot for Stephen Bayo.
Normally the three-point specialist, that time a little up and under.
Richland responds so quickly.
I think that they realize that if they let this Moses crowd get into it, that it could spell trouble. So
Ratliff, his shot no good after he got past the defender. Three-pointer off the mark. Sandoval, though, with the rebound and the putback.
And there you see what the strength of Sandoval is. He's so big that it's almost impossible to get him out of the way, and there he gets the rebound in the bucket.
Yeah, double-double for Sandoval in 2 of his last 3 games. 18 and 12 in the win over Davis. That's Sandoval with a rebound underneath off the missed shot from DeVries.
Some good defense by Josh Hers. Looks like the refs are going to let him play. They haven't been calling too many ticky-tack fouls. I mean, there's a lot of physical play so far, and they're letting it go.
That's Ricardo Gonzalez into the game now for Moses Lake. Almost stolen away. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by a Richland player, though, and Moses Lake will maintain possession.
And I'm not sure if you recall, I don't remember Richland trying to poke at so many balls before. You know, it seems like that's one of the things they were trying to emphasize coming into this. Maybe that the Chiefs are susceptible to that.
Sandoval, the big guy with the three-pointer, off the mark. Ratliff bringing it back the other way. Stroyford now gets Sandoval up in the air, and Stroyford takes it into the glass for 2.
That's one of the things that Nathan will be able to exploit is the fact that he's much faster. I mean, Sandoval has the size, obviously, but he's a little slow on defense.
So Richland has a 21 to 15-point lead here as Coach John Holman takes a timeout. Didn't like what he saw perhaps there from the defensive end from his players, as Stroyford was able to get to the basket fairly easily on that play.
Yes, and it looks like Sandoval is possibly a little frustrated. He's walked away from the huddle, and looks like maybe John Holman had some words for him as he came to the huddle for the timeout. But, you know, again, 21-15, the Chiefs definitely staying in the game and not letting Richland get too far away. I mean, there have been plenty of teams that have hung with Richland for a half or maybe 3 quarters, and then the Bombers tend to score a lot of second half points and pull away from teams. So see if the Chiefs can stay in it. Sandoval, again, at the end of the bench, seems talking to one of the assistant coaches, and there must just be some frustration on his part. I'm not sure, obviously, what it's all about. But
right. But he is back on the bench. Still with two fouls there, as we've got 5.5 minutes left in the first half. Thomas going all the way and then dishing off. Shot no good, but Carstetter gets the tip in.
I'm surprised they didn't call anything on Josh Hers for affecting the shot. He grabbed onto the rim, but it went in, and the refs let it go.
Yeah, it might have been a safety issue there. Stroyford passes off to Daniel Torres-Effelring. His first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, that Richland bench it's a very deep team, as we've talked about many times before, and Daniel Torres-Effelring that time able to get the lay-in.
Stolen there by Bayo, and then blocked. But Richland comes up with it. Stroyford fouled as he went to the basket. His shot's no good, but he'll head to the free throw line. An impressive block on that layup, though.
Yeah, Josh Hers, one of the Chiefs that's playing just stifling defense. One of the things I've been really impressed by so far by Moses Lake is just, they're not intimidated by what is such, a legendary and potent offense in the Richland Bombers. Just playing really scrappy D, really greasy. Take another look at it. Great block by Hers. Daniel Torres getting it back, and Stroyford fouled on his way up, so
Stroyford missed that first free throw. Well short.
He's not a good free throw shooter from what I remember. Isn't he about 60%, I want to say?
Sounds about right.
Not very good for...
Makes the second one, though. And he leads the Bombers now with 7 points. Thomas will take it the other way. Layup, no good. No foul called. Richland comes the other way. DeVries blocked by Carstetter, but a foul is called.
The Chief faithful, not a fan of that call. I'm going to go ahead and go with them on this. I thought that was just a good block. It just kind of drives you nuts when you feel like the ref has anticipated that something's going to happen.
We talked about Nathan Stroyford. You were right on. 59.4% from the free throw line. Jacob DeVries now at the line. Here's a look at the replay. DeVries driving baseline.
Well, I can make the argument that he got him with the body.
Got him with the body before he made contact with the ball on the block. Second one up and good for DeVries.
My apologies to the WIA referees. They're some of the finest around.
Well, we have the benefit of the replay.
Right.
To prove that they were right. Gonzalez with it. Now he'll drop it off to Carstetter. That was Hers. Now Martinez. Shot clock at 10. Isaiah Thomas now. Driving baseline. Loses it. Peyton Radliff pokes it away.
Again, the Chiefs just kind of being careless with the basketball and Richland taking advantage.
Nice defensive effort there by Carstetter at the other end. Knocks it away from Carson Miller. Richland will have it underneath. Isaiah Thomas, the point guard for Moses Lake, he is just a sophomore. So still learning the game, learning to play at the varsity level. Ratliff. Finally gets it over to DeVries. His shot's no good. Miller, though, with the rebound. DeVries will drive inside now. Ball knocked away. It goes out of bounds off of DeVries. DeVries wanted a foul. And he did not get it. The ball goes out of bounds. And we're going to take a timeout. We've got 3 minutes and 56 seconds left here in the first half. It's Richland 25, Moses Lake 17. It's the 4A Regional Playoffs on SWX. Welcome back to Chiawana High School. State 4A Regional Playoffs. Right now, Richland with an 8-point lead over Moses Lake. The Chiefs hanging in this one. We've got 3 minutes, 56 seconds left here in the first half.
And I think that if Moses Lake can clean up some of the little sloppiness they have on offense, they're allowing Richland to get those little, to poke the ball away and get steals and turnovers. And so if they can shore that up, they might have a chance of getting back into the game.
Carstetter. Sandoval back in the game. Almost stolen away by Miller. Ends up going out of bounds. Sandoval the last one to touch it, and Richland will get the basketball. Nathan Stroyford with a quick break there. Coach Earl Stroy for giving him an extra 30 seconds maybe of rest on the bench. He's back in the game now. DeVries into Stroyford. Looks to go baseline. McCullough now. He'll dish it off. DeVries into the paint. Floater won't go. Farstetter with the rebound, and a foul is called on Richland.
You see the student section reacting there for the Chiefs. I think they feel like Richland has gotten away with a few of those, and with that foul finally being called, you wonder if Richland might not try and be so aggressive trying to poke the ball away, especially when you're just giving one away under your own basket.
Well, as you look up at the scoreboard, that is the first foul called on Richland so far in this game, and it looks like Moses Lake has 7, so they may have had an argument there.
Yeah. But again, I don't remember seeing any blatant fouls that weren't called on the part of Richland.
Very true. Sandoval working his way inside. Cesar Sandoval, 8 points now to lead Moses Lake. Stroyford, fade away off the glass.
That's what he's going to have to do if he's going to score against Sandoval, is make those fadeaways, because the big fella ain't going anywhere.
Another part of Nathan Stroyford's all-around game that he's been able to fine-tune here in his junior and senior seasons. That's Martinez, his 3 off the mark. Bayo with the rebound. Richland pushing the ball. Bayo keeps it the whole way and gets the lefty layup to go.
A great move by the part of Stephen Bayo. As we've said, he likes to shoot the 3. He's showing us very versatile today with the dribble drives and getting the lanes to go.
Bayo, the sophomore, the only underclassman in the starting lineup for Richland. The rest of the starting 5, all seniors. Isaiah Thomas dishing it off. Martinez, his 3 off the mark. Sandoval, though, right under there to get the rebound and the putback.
It's one of the things Moses is going to have to keep doing. You don't see many people dictate like that against Stroyford, but Sandoval does.
Peyton Radliff driving inside. 6 points now for Radliff. Sandoval has 10 to lead Moses Lake. And the lead is 10 for Richland. Martinez. Now Thomas with it. Inside to Sandoval. Gets poked away, and Sandoval the last person to touch it. The referees decide Richland will get the basketball.
Yeah, that was Thomas just trying to create there, just getting a one-on-one matchup between Stroyford and Sandoval, and the pass just went off of Sandoval's hand. So Richland the ball again.
Josh Hurst checking into the game for Moses Lake. We've got a little over 1 minute left here in the first half. Bayo with it. He'll fire up a 3. Off the mark, no good. Sutherland with the rebound.
Had a good job of rebounding there for the Chiefs.
Again, limiting Richland to just 1 shot on that possession. Less than a minute to go now. In the corner, Holman with it now. He'll drive inside, loses his footing. Shot won't go. Battle for the loose ball. It goes out of bounds, and Moses Lake will maintain possession.
10 seconds left on the shot clock, so they're going to have to come up with something pretty fast.
Sandoval checking back into the game for the Chiefs. Moses Lake needs to bring somebody over to inbound the basketball.
Yeah.
Hers finally comes over. They've got 36.4 seconds left here in the first half. Shot clock, though, is at 7. I'm not sure that... And a kicked ball call there actually benefits Moses Lake, because then the shot clock gets reset, and now they've got 30 seconds for one last shot. So Moses Lake will bring it in bounds, and now Isaiah Thomas will set up the offense. Brings it across the midcourt stripe. A little pressure trap by Richland, almost goes out of bounds. And the referee says Josh Hurst was out of bounds. as he tried to save that ball. So Richland will get it now with 16.8 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that time the defensive scheme by Richland actually worked. They kind of gambled, taking one man away from the guy he was defending to put two on Thomas, and he couldn't deal with the defensive pressure.
The Bombers don't do a lot of trapping, but in that particular instance, it worked very well. Bayo with it, goes baseline, and gets the layup to go. Stephen Bayo, Purrs, one last shot, off the mark, no good, and we have reached halftime. 16 minutes down, 16 minutes to go. Richland with a 33-21 lead over Moses Lake. It's the state 4A regional playoffs here at Chiawana High School. We'll be back with the halftime festivities right after this on SWX. Welcome back to Chiawana High School, Pasco, Washington. It's the State 4A regional playoffs. The Moses Lake Chiefs and the Richland Bombers. Right now it's Richland with a 33-21 lead over Moses Lake as we take a look at the Richland Bomber dance team out there at center court. Matt, so far, with a score like this, 33-21, that's a fairly low-scoring game in Richland's book.
Yeah, I was going to say, we said it after the first quarter that 15-9 was probably a victory on the part of Moses Lake. I think 33-21 is as well. We know that, Richland averages almost 90 points per game, so I think to keep them to 31, at least you're within reach.
Right, let's review the keys to the game we talked about at the beginning of this contest. For Moses Lake, they wanted to get back on defense, contest every three, and create turnovers. I think getting back on defense, they've been able to do that. They've done a great job on the offense or on the defensive glass.
Yeah, that's one of the things that they didn't have in their keys that I think is one of the big reasons they're still in the game. And they have done a good job of creating turnovers, but not as good of a job as Richland's done.
For the Bombers, they talked about sticking to the plan, limiting their turnovers, and taking advantage of opportunities. They've been able to do those things to a certain degree, but probably not as well as Coach Stroyford would like to see so far.
Well, I would say that in terms of taking advantage of opportunities, that's one of the things that as we looked at the first half, we saw a sort of uncharacteristic style of defense on the part of Richland, kind of poking the ball away and getting away with it a lot. They didn't have a lot of fouls called on them, so that's one of the big reasons I think they have that 12-point lead.
And another opportunity for them probably was Cesar Sandoval having those two quick fouls. And when he did come back into the game, you definitely saw Richland attack him, or not attack him, but attack where he was at on the court. So right now it's a 12-point lead for Richland. We're at halftime. We'll be back with more right here on SWX.
To Washington in your last swap.
We're at halftime here at Chihuahua High School. Richland with a 33-21 lead. SWX is sports and weather right now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With that in mind, here's a look at the forecast.
broadcast of local high school basketball is brought to you by the RV giant, Rustine Family RV, with over 200 RVs and used trucks on their lot. For your next RV, see the RV giant, Rustine Family RV, the only name you need to know in the Pasco Autoplex.
And we're ready to start the second half here at Chihuahua High School. 4A regional playoffs. Winner punches their ticket to the Tacoma Dome next weekend. Hardwood Classic, 3A and 4A teams will be over in Tacoma. 1As and 2As in Yakima, the 1 and 2Bs in Spokane. Radliff with it underneath and stolen there by Karstetter. Stepped in that passing lane. More strong defense here from Moses Lake to start the second half. Sandoval gets rid of it to Holman. He'll fire up a three off the mark. Stephen Bayo gets the rebound. Pushes it down floor. Ratliff fires up a quick jumper off the mark. McCullough gets the rebound, and his putback is up and good.
That was one of the times that Moses wasn't able to execute getting that first rebound. They gave Richland a second chance, which is always a dangerous thing to do with that Bomber offense.
So the Richland lead now at 14, 35-21. Sandoval looking for someone to get rid of it to. Karstetter has it now. Some pressure defense here and that basket's there by Mitch Holman, driving and getting the kiss off the glass.
A kiss, I wouldn't call that.
Stroyford driving into the paint. His lefty layup won't go. Karstetter gets the rebound for Moses Lake.
And that time Sandoval able to get Stroyford out of his rhythm, and you saw there the shot wasn't even really close.
Thomas finding some room in the paint, and the layup goes. First 2 points of the game for Isaiah Thomas. Back at the other end, Stroyford working inside. Dishing. Bayo now, three-pointer. Good. Stephen Bayo now with 12 points.
The Chiefs out of the gate playing some good offense and good defense, but you can't leave Stephen Bayo open. We know that.
Thomas dropping it off to Holman. Sandoval. Now Thomas will fire a three. Way off the mark. Stroyford with the rebound. Just under 6 minutes left here in the third quarter. Ratliff. 18-footer. Front iron. No good. Thomas with the rebound. Back the other way. The Chiefs. Sunderland inside to Sandoval. Great pass from Nick Sunderland.
Yeah, just a good job of recognizing his big guy was open down low, and as you said, great pass.
Sandoval leading all scorers with 12 points. Stroyford underneath. That shot won't go. A fight for the basketball. Stroyford able to throw it back inbounds, and it goes off Isaiah Thomas and out of bounds, so Richland will maintain possession.
Isaiah Thomas may have taken that in a compromising part of the body, but he seems to be okay. Just was down for a second, but
shake it off, rub some dirt on it.
There you go.
Inbounds pass to Stroyford. I believe that was partially blocked by Karstetter.
Oh, it absolutely was. It was a great block by Karstetter. Great defensive effort. They're frustrating Stroyford so far in the second half. Playing good defense, both he and Sandoval.
Thomas. Sutherland to Sandoval. Now Thomas will drive inside again. Sandoval with it. He'll fire up a three. Not a bad-looking shot from the big fella. Didn't go. DeVries able to save it. Back in bounds and back to DeVries. His three-pointer's off the mark, but somehow the tip-in goes in.
I didn't even see who did that.
Yeah, I think it might have been Mitch Holman for Moses Lake.
Oh, yeah, an own goal.
I think he and Ratliff went up for it at the same time, and it ended up going back into the basket for Richland.
It's just bad luck.
I'm not sure who we should give the points to on that one.
Whoa.
Foul underneath, and DeVries goes to the floor.
He and Karstetter kind of locked horns there, and DeVries got the worst of it.
The officials talking to both players, making sure to keep everything civil.
Yeah. But based on the look on Jacob's face, it looked like he felt Karstetter was defending him a little too aggressively, but
right.
We will see.
Thomas inside to Sandoval. Can't get the shot to go, but he gets his own rebound. High off the glass. Second shot no good either. Ball goes out of bounds off Carson Miller's hands, and Moses Lake will maintain possession.
Yeah, one of the things about Sandoval, I mean, he's able to get those rebounds, but it's kind of telegraphing when he's going to shoot the ball. And that time, Carson Miller played some good defense and was able to tip the ball away. And the second shot was really not a very great effort.
And that's probably something that he'll get better at as he gets older. Just a sophomore, Cesar Sandoval.
Oh, I think there's no question. I mean, by the time he becomes a senior, I think he's going to be a force for the Chiefs. But, for every sophomore, there are things to iron out.
Sure, absolutely. That ball goes out of bounds off a Richland player again. Moses Lake maintaining possession here. Now it's stolen. Fight for the loose ball, and eventually it goes out of bounds. The referee says that Richland will maintain possession.
Yeah, I think that ball changed hands 4 or 5 times before it got down court and out of bounds. But it's one of the entertaining things about this game. Both teams just really quick, scrappy defenses.
Well, so much on the line for both teams. A trip to Tacoma.
Short.
That shot by Ratliff well short. Holman brings back the underway. Ball goes, a foul called on Drew McCullough. The ball went off of his foot. And with 3 minutes and 54 seconds left, we're going to take a timeout here in the third quarter. It's Richland 40, Moses Lake 27. The regional playoffs on SWX. Welcome back to Chiawana High School. Richland with a 40-27 lead with 3 minutes and 54 seconds left here to go in the third quarter. A couple of other playoff scores to share with you at halftime. Kennewick leads Shadle Park 24-23. And in the 1B ranks, it's St. George's Big over Tri-Cities Prep 42-13. A block there by Carson Miller. But a foul called on the play.
Boy. I did not see a foul there.
Tyson Carstead will head to the free throw line.
I don't think the Bomber faithful saw the foul either. But again, I was wrong last time.
Carstedter's first free throw is good. Moses Lake trailing by 12 here. Second one, no good. Loose ball in the paint and a foul called on Moses Lake, as there was a battle for the loose ball after the missed free throw.
We got Carstetter for something.
Carstetter called for the foul as he was going for the loose ball.
12-point lead. I mean, again, they are within range. I have to imagine they're going to have to get on a run. They're not going to obviously be able to trade baskets with Richland, but it's going to take a good 6-8 point run.
DeVries almost loses it underneath. Now Stroyford with it. He does lose it underneath. Sandoval comes up with the ball for Moses Lake. 3.5 minutes left here in the third. Isaiah Thomas bringing it across the midcourt stripe. Sutherland. Now Thomas again. Stroyford providing some pressure there. Holman now. Shot clock at 12. He'll drive in the lane. Drop it off to Carstetter. Shot in and out. Nice rebound, though, by Holman underneath the Sandoval. And that'll be called goaltending or a basket interference.
Yeah, you can't tug down on the net when the
Stroyford trying to get his hands on that basketball before it went in, and was not successful.
Yeah, you can't fault him for his passion, but there are rules.
Credit Sandoval with that basket. He now has 14 points.
Within 10.
Stroyford. Cross court to Bayo. He'll fire a three. Stephen Bayo now with 15 points. Richland's leads back out to 13. Actually, it's 43 to 30. A 13-point lead for Richland.
That's what's going to kill the Chiefs if they keep on, getting within 10 and possibly even single digits, letting the Bombers come back and score that quickly.
Stolen by Ratliff. He'll go coast to coast. Nice pass over to Stroyford. Into Miller now. Ratliff firing a three and hits. Peyton Ratliff, back-to-back three-pointers here for Richland, and they've got a 16-point lead.
That might have been, I don't want to say a dagger at the end of the third quarter, but definitely got the Richland faithful into the game, and Coach Homan, I think, wisely calling timeout and letting the gym settle down a little bit. Join us next Tuesday, March 4th on SWX as we once again broadcast the championship games from the NWAC tournament live from the Toyota Center. The women tip off at 5:30 and the men play at 8. You'll see it all right here, the championship games of the NWAC tournament on SWX, the leader in local sports television.
As long as we're talking about college basketball, it's the Apple Cup of the hardwood tonight over there in Seattle. Bank of America Arena, or as we like to, actually it's Alaska Airlines Arena. It's changed names so many times. It will always be Heck Edmondson Pavilion to the true naturalists.
Yes.
The true Husky fans. But right now, UW with a 36-24 lead over WSU at halftime in the Apple Cup of basketball.
We're a second half team. Say we because I play for them.
That's right. Sandoval with it now. Almost stolen away. Thomas able to maintain possession. Shot clock down to 10. Looking to get rid of it. Almost stolen by Stroyford. Holman picks up the loose ball. He'll push his way inside. Nice dish to Cesar Sandoval. Stolen back away there by Moses Lake.
Great play by Nick Sutherland there. He knew he wasn't probably going to be able to come down with it, so he batted it to his teammates. And Moses another opportunity.
Thomas. Carstetter into Sandoval again, and he's up and good.
Really good job by Sandoval of contorting his body when he had a defender right in his face, able to get that lay-in to go anyway.
Yeah, he had Carson Miller, and there you see Miller driving the baseline. The foul here on Sandoval, that'll be his third.
Not in nearly as much foul trouble as he used to be. It seems like one of the things Sandoval does is use that baseline as a sixth defender, but it looks like Sandoval will come out with that third foul.
Sandoval with 18 points right now for Moses Lake. So they need to manage his time wisely. They trail here by 12. Bayo way off the mark on that three-pointer. Thomas will drive coast to coast. Out to Holman. Big three-pointer there for Mitch Holman. The lead down to 11 now. Stroyford able to save it, but it gets into Karstetter's hands. His layup won't go. Almost dunked there by Hers, but it...
I think they
said that went in?
Yeah. I don't think it did.
I don't think it did either.
Oh. Man, oh man.
A foul called underneath. And Stephen Bayo.
Take another look at it.
Here's a look at the dunk. It didn't, from where, he did get it in. I'll be darned.
Wow.
So a big dunk there by Josh Hers.
Oh my Lord.
And it got the Moses Lake faithful all fired up. They've cut the lead to single digits here, trailing by 9 as Stephen Bayo has 2 foul shots at the free throw line. First one off the mark. 1-and-1 opportunity, actually. Ball goes out of bounds, and Moses Lake will get possession.
Man, oh man. You know, this is one of the situations that we talked about every time we do a Richland game. You know, how would they respond when they're, when a team is within single digits late, and that's just where it is right now.
Stolen there. McCullough back up, and he's fouled as he goes to the basket. So a little bit of pressure defense by Richland picks up the turnover. McCullough at the other end is fouled. He'll head to the line for 2.
Probably a good foul. I think McCullough, if I remember, is one of the better free throw shooters on this team, but got to make him earn it, make him think about it next time he goes to the bucket.
Drew McCullough, a 71% free throw shooter. He makes the first. Second one up and good for McCullough. Richland's lead is back out to 11. Moses Lake. 17 seconds left here in this third quarter. Thomas trying to find a teammate. Holman now, 10 seconds. He'll drive the lane. Layup no good. Hers tries to work his magic again. McCullough comes up with it. Stroifert, long 3, off the mark, and that's the end of the third quarter.
Wow. Some
Feverish action here in the final minute of the third quarter. We've got one more quarter left to play. It's 50-39 Richland over Moses Lake at the State 4A Regionals. We'll be right back here on SWX.
This portion of the game is brought to you by irrigation specialists and Lindsay Company in Pasco, Grandview, Othello, and Hermiston. Excuse me. Providing equipment and systems from small residential to large farms, Irrigation Specialists, a proud sponsor of local high school basketball on SWX.
Ready to start the fourth quarter here at Chiawana High School, the State 4A Regional Playoffs. The winner earns a ticket to the Tacoma Dome. The loser is done for the season. Moses Lake will have the first possession here in the fourth quarter. Sandoval to Hers. He'll fire up a long 18-footer way off the mark. McCullough And a traveling violation called on Drew McCullough as he left his feet, tried to find someone to pass it to, and must have come back down to earth before he got rid of the basketball.
Interesting decision on the part of Nathan Stroyford to save it. It was going to go back to Richland, but generating the travel.
Hers off the fingertips of Sandoval, out of bounds. That's a turnover that Moses Lake can't afford to make right now.
7.5 minutes left in their season unless they can come up with something.
Stroyford going baseline. Foul called underneath. Like that was on Josh Hers was called for that foul. It's the 5th team foul for Moses Lake.
There's an interesting no call between Stroyford and Sandoval there.
Right. DeVries. Bang. Three-pointer for Jacob DeVries. Richland's lead back out to 14.
Moses saying before the game they wanted to contest the threes. They haven't done a very good job of closing out on Richland's three-point shooters.
Not here in the second half, no. Sandoval with it. He'll go in the paint and dish it off to Hers. Almost stolen away by DeVries. Shot clock's at 8. Martinez back into the game. Fires up the long two. Had his foot on the line. Derek Martinez.
Drew McCullough needs to come out of the game.
Stephen Bayo's drive. No good. As you said, McCullough looks like he's favoring an ankle or possibly a knee. He needs to get out of the game. Daniel Torres-Elfering will check in. McCullough will head to the bench and the trainers will take a look at him. Maybe it looks like he might have got banged on his right knee.
Yeah, that happens. And what actually happened to me one time in warm-ups when I was playing in high school, it hurts really bad. But good news for Richland. I don't think that's something that's going to actually have him out of the next few games they play at State, if they play.
Stroyford misses that first free throw. And the second one, though, up and good for Stroyford. He now has 10 points. Well under his season average of 18, nearly 19. But still, the lead is 13 for Richland right now. Sandoval. Martinez back inside to Sandoval. Almost tipped away. Can't get the shot to go. Hers skies for the rebound. Thomas brings it back out. Martinez. His three-pointer's good. Derek Martinez now with 8 points.
Chiefs not going away. They're playing very... Oh, wow.
He's down to 10 and a foul called on Martinez.
I'm surprised they didn't get Radliff for a little push-off there with his...
create some space.
That one could have gone either way, but Moses doing a good job of staying in the game. Being only down 10 with 6 minutes to go against Richland is an accomplishment not many teams were able to come up with this year.
So Ratliff heads to the free throw line. Ratliff, an 80% free throw shooter. One of the better ones on the team. Not a friendly bounce, though, here at the Chihuahua rims. DeVries shot, no good. Into the corner, Bayo. Stephen Bayo with a huge three-pointer there for Richland to give them a 13-point lead with 5.5 minutes left. Coach John Holman wants to take a timeout, discuss things with his assistants.
They almost feel like, that's going to be the difference in the game is just every time Moses starts to threaten and starts to get closer, the Bombers just go back down court and shoot a three, which obviously they've been doing all year.
Well, we saw that last week in their game against Ferris. They were down early and came back, showed some tough resilience. Ferris was presented of a tough challenge inside, and Richland was able to come back and win that game handily.
Well, join us next Tuesday, March 4th on SWX as we once again broadcast the championship games from the NWAC tournament. Live from the Toyota Center, the women tip off at 5:30 and the men play at 8. You'll see it all right here, the championship games of the NWAC tournament on SWX, the leader in local sports television. So, 13 points, shade under 6 minutes to go. As I said earlier, it's if the Chiefs are going to come back and possibly win, they're going to need to put together a good, 8-0 run, 10-0 run maybe, which is obviously very hard to do against the Bombers because both teams are up tempo, and every time the Chiefs seem to get back into the ball game, the Bombers are right back down, creating offensive opportunities. But Chiefs with the ball here, and Bombers again pressing, which is not something they've done all year, but has produced results in this game as the Chiefs have been sloppy at times.
And there's another turnover. DeVries taking it back the other way. Bayo will drive inside. Almost stolen away by Thomas. Into the corner, Ratliff. Big three-pointer there from Peyton Ratliff.
Yeah, Moses just has no answer for the three-point shooting of Richland, and I have to imagine they're probably at about 60%, 70% right now. So,
a couple of big three-pointers here for Richland in the fourth quarter as Thomas dishes to Karstetter's shot, no good. Fighting for it underneath. Moses Lake maintains possession. Now it's over in Richland's hands. Stephen Bayo, the layup at the other end. That's 20 points now for Stephen Bayo, the sophomore leading all scorers, as Moses Lake takes another timeout.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you get the Richland crowd into it like this and extend the lead to 18 now with...
Right, just a couple of minutes ago on the game clock, Moses Lake was down by 10.
Right, and...
in fact, it was 54 to 44, so it's been an 8-0 run here by Richland to extend that lead as the time whittles away on the clock for Moses Lake on their season.
Right, yeah, and I said it would take a run by Moses Lake. Unfortunately, it was Richland who came up with the run, so it might be insurmountable at this point of the game. 18 points. Richland can just continue to do what it does, which is, play that great defense they've had, which, I think, assuming they move on and head to state, is going to be one of the things that determines whether they're able to go all the way or not. They're going to be facing some very stout West Side teams if they get deep into the tournament bracket, and we know they can score. The question is, are they going to be able to play good enough defense to beat some of those top teams in the state?
The Bombers finishing the regular season ranked number 2 in the 4A ranks. For a couple of weeks they had the number 1 ranking. Right now Jackson is ranked number 1, Richland number 2.
You don't even lose a ball game and you lose the number 1 spot.
Moses Lake bringing the ball back up the floor, trailing here by 18 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. Some pressure here from the Bombers. Thomas able to work his way through it. Almost stolen, and it is stolen there by Richland. Back the other way, Ratliff. From the baseline, his shot's no good, but a foul is called. That one on Isaiah Thomas. So Peyton Ratliff will head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
And, speaking of, if they're able to make a deep state run, I think this game is sort of emblematic of the fact that eventually the Bombers are just going to get you, man. You can stay with them for 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters, and eventually they will pull away. So, excellent effort so far by Moses Lake, staying in a game with such a formidable team.
Well, when you look at this roster, 4 of their 5 starters average in double figures, and Drew McCullough's not that far off, averaging about 8 points a game. So they've got scorers in just about every position. Moses Lake and Isaiah Thomas ends up losing the ball. Back the other way, Torres Elfring. Nifty little scoop shot there to avoid the defender. The lead up to 22 now for Richland. As Sandoval answers at the other end. We've got 4 minutes left in this ball game, and we're going to take a timeout. It's Richland 66, Moses Lake 46. The 4A regional playoffs on SWX.
Instagram using the handle @WIAAWA.
portion of the game is brought to you by irrigation specialists, a Lindsay Company in Pasco, Grandview, Othello, and Hermiston, providing equipment and systems from small residential to large farms. Irrigation Specialists, a proud sponsor of local high school basketball on SWX.
A couple scores to share with you. 3A regional playoffs. Kennewick leading Shadle Park 41-36 as they head to the fourth quarter. And over in Seattle in the second half, it's Washington 62, Washington State 46. So we've got 4 minutes left here in this ball game, and right now the Richland lead is up to 20. We were talking about it just a moment ago, Matt. It's been a great effort by Moses Lake to hang with this Richland team, but they're just so deep and so talented that eventually they are going to find a way to beat you.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I don't think I've seen a more complete effort by Richland this year. As we were saying earlier, they can always count on their offense, even though the Chiefs have done a pretty good job of stifling that today. They haven't scored nearly as much as they normally do. But between, poking the ball away, getting turnovers, rebounding well enough, and scoring and hitting the threes as they normally do, again, just probably the most complete effort I've seen from Richland this year. Yeah,
a much more aggressive effort from Richland on the defensive side of the ball tonight. And maybe that was something that Coach Stroyford emphasized in practice this week, knowing that that's going to be something that they're going to have to be able to do when they get to Tacoma.
Well, and I wonder, when you look at, poking the ball away and getting turnovers that way.
If another steal here. Underneath, DeVries finishes. Great pass. Great pass there from Torres Elfring to DeVries.
I'm not sure that's something you can get away with some of the better teams in the state. You see right there, that's just kind of lazy, I think, on the part of Peyton Radliff. He's trying to poke the ball away. That'll work against decent and younger point guards, but when you get to some of the ones that have more experience and go deep into the state bracket, that's a risk that you're not going to want to take, because they'll exploit the fact that you're sort of opening yourself up with those plays.
24-point lead here for Richland with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left. Sandoval and Stroyford, I believe, gets called for the foul there as he tried to swat it away from Sandoval. You got to give Moses Lake credit for this season. Their record 13-9, 9-6 in the Big Nine. They actually finished fourth in the Big Nine regular season standings, but they pulled off a big upset in the first round of the district playoffs, knocking off the number 1 seed Davis at Davis, and that set up the game against Wenatchee. But what it also did is qualified them for the state regional round. And their game here tonight with Richland.
Well, there's a lot of youth on the team. One of the things that we talk about a lot is, in the next few years, Coach Holman could have this team making a state run itself.
When you look at the roster, there are a lot of seniors on the roster, but when you look at the starting lineup, there's a couple of sophomores, there's a junior, and a couple of seniors. So there are some players on this team that are going to be back next year. And it's a team that's going to, ruffle some feathers and cause some problems in the Big Nine, and when we get to the regional round of the playoffs. Sandoval heads to the bench. That was his 5th personal foul, so he'll finish the night with 20 points. DeVries hits another free throw.
Big effort from the fella, considering he had those 2 quick fouls, able to get 20 points for his team. Not a guy that has exactly what you would call a basketball physique, but he makes it work.
Right, absolutely. I think he's probably growing into his body, too. Underneath, that's Nick Sutherland, his first 2 points of the ball game, and Daniel Torres Elfring goes down hard to the floor. Looks to be in a little bit of pain.
He fell onto the ball and seems to be holding his hip, but I think he'll be all right. That looked painful, though.
Yeah, you've got to be impressed with what Coach John Holman's been able to do. He's been here at Moses Lake for 4 years, but for a long time he was an assistant coach there at Big Bend Community College. And he was. Here's another look at the play. As you see, got tripped up there. Torres Elfring did, and then exactly like you said, he kind of fell on the basketball there with his right hip. Yeah. Kind of an awkward play, but he stayed in the game, and he'll shoot 2 free throws. You talk about the Bombers. You know, there will be 23-0 after this game. Ranked number 2 in the state. The MCC Player of the Year in Nathan Stroyford. But he's got a great supporting cast. 3 other guys in the starting lineup averaging in double figures. 4 seniors and a sophomore in that starting lineup. And tonight they were led by that sophomore, Stephen Bale, with 21 points as Mitch Holman gets up close and personal with the Moses Lake radio crew that's sitting right next to us. Credit him for the hustle there. Foul called as we tick the clock away here. 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Last year, Richland qualified for the state tournament.
The TV guys.
What's that?
To protect us, they just let the players come in the meet. TV guys not do anything at all to protect radio.
Well, we're sorry about that.
You know, guys, I saw that. Okay.
We had to protect our equipment, you know.
Getting an earful here.
Getting an earful from the Moses Lake radio guys who are sitting here next to us. They say we didn't protect them enough, but our TV's kind of expensive.
Well, I'm on the end. I don't know what your excuse is.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've never been able to box out real well underneath. 3-pointer there, off the mark by Sutherland.
And speaking of the Chiefs, I mean, you know, their last trip to the state tournament was 1998. So, I mean, the fact that Coach Holman's been there for just 4 years and they're at state regionals, I mean, as we mentioned, a lot of young starters have to imagine it will only be a matter of time before they actually get to another state tournament.
Absolutely. Richland, of course, with a long and storied history on the basketball court and in the state tournament. They have 3 state 4A championships. They won the title back in 58, 72, and 79. They also have 3 second-place finishes. So there's a lot of trophies in the trophy case out there at Art Daywall Gymnasium.
Yeah, it's an outstanding basketball venue. I think one of the best ones in the area. And you just look up and you see not just a few banners, Shane. There's rows and rows and rows and rows.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all kinds of different sports, too. It's not like they hang their hat on just basketball or just baseball or just football. No. It's everything.
And they haven't talked about it a lot this year, but, you know, they went to the tournament last year. They lost those 2 games right off the bat. They lost to Arlington in the first round and then to Central Valley in the loser-out bracket. And so they came home with 2 losses, and, you know, that's been kind of in the back of their mind throughout the season. They want to get back to Tacoma. They want to show that they belong in the discussion when it comes to state championships at the 4A level.
Well, I mean, they did kind of blaze their way through the MCC, but it's not like they haven't played any stronger schools from other conferences. They had a couple of GSL wins, I think by 9 points and by 11. So, I mean, it's not like they've never played in close games. And it's also not like they haven't played against some of the better talent from around the state.
Absolutely. They played Shadle Park the first game of the season. They won that one 98-87. They played Central Valley back in December. They won that game by 9, 66-57. Of course, they had the win over the Saxons, the Ferris Saxons, last Friday at 81-64. So they, and they did go over. They went over to the MLK Showcase over at the ShoWare Center in Kent. They played. They ended up playing Mount Rainier, which was probably the of the 4 teams that were there was probably the least strongest team there. But Jackson and Lincoln and Issaquah were all there. And Jackson and Issaquah are teams that are in the top 10 right now. So Coach Stroyford telling me back in January that was a great opportunity, at least for them to see how Jackson plays, to see how Issaquah plays, to see how the teams on the west side, the teams that they're going to be facing here next week at the Tacoma Dome. Winding down the second half here at Chiawana, Richland with a 24-point lead and 1:17 left. Coach Stroyford, of course, in his 15th season at Richland, as Peyton Radliff gets a round of applause from the Richland crowd. He finishes tonight with 13 points. Stephen Bayo also taking a seat on the bench and getting a big ovation from the crowd. Bayo leading the Bombers tonight with 21 points, including a couple of really big three-pointers here in the second half. Coach Stroyford named the MCC Coach of the Year the last 2 years. And Richland really has established themselves, at least in the last couple of years, as the class of, or the cream of the conference here in the MCC.
Well, when you got the best player in the conference and the best coach in the conference 2 years in a row,
good things are bound to happen.
Yes.
J.P. Leahy's at the free throw line now for Richland.
This is what's known at my high school as Reichman time.
Carson Miller's shot is off the mark. 1 minute left here in this contest. Richland fans can start making their reservations for Tacoma. Finding that hotel room. Miller's shot off the mark. Chad Miller misses as well. All of a sudden, Richland can't find a way to make a basket. A foul called underneath with 32.5 seconds left in this game.
It has become bedlam.
It has. But Richland will move on. They will move on to the Elite Eight. They'll be one of 8 teams vying for that state 4A championship starting next Thursday over at the Tacoma Dome. Chad Miller getting his name in the scorebook with the free throw there.
Way to go, Chad.
.32 seconds now left in this contest as the Richland student section begins the undefeated chant. And they've been a big reason why this team's been so good too. I mean, the home crowd that they've had at Art Daywald has been phenomenal this season.
No question. I mean, you know, the students are a huge part of that. Obviously, they don't make up everything, but in terms of that electricity and the energy behind the team, they are very well represented at home and obviously elsewhere.
Yeah, their fans have traveled very well this year. They had a huge crowd up at Ferris last weekend and a big crowd here tonight at Chiawana High School as the final seconds tick away in this contest. The Richland Bombers, another foul called here with 4 seconds left. The Chiefs just don't want their season to end, want to extend it out maybe for a few more seconds. Yeah. It's been a good year for Moses Lake. I think if you probably asked Coach Homan as he was heading toward the end of the regular season if he thought his team was going to make it to the 4A state regional playoffs, I'm not sure he would have said that they had the makeup to get here. But they finished the season strong. Picked up some big wins towards the end of the regular season in the Big Nine, and then, of course, a big win in the regional playoffs, or the district regionals. Big win over Davis. Found themselves here against Richland tonight, but the Bombers and their senior leaders just too strong. As the final seconds tick away, that's your ball game. The Richland Bombers are heading to the state tournament. punching their ticket to Tacoma with an 83-55 win over Moses Lake here in the state 4A regionals. Matt, some final thoughts?
Well, I mean, you know, as someone who covers them, I also, I root for these kids, and seeing what happened tonight with Richland, as I said earlier on, probably the most complete performance I've seen, and I think this team is sort of starting to fire on all cylinders as it heads to Tacoma, which is something it's going to have to do if they want to take that trophy home.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight at Chiawana High School as Richland punches their ticket to the state tournament, an 83-55 victory over Moses Lake in the state 4A regional playoffs. For Matt Reichman and all the guys in the truck, as well as our outstanding camera crew, it's been a great season of high school basketball here on SWX. We thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.